The whole idea of this is to inspire you to be an entrepreneur. And my God, more than any, we need entrepreneurs now. You've been thinking about some other ideas. If you had some idea that you just don't have time to do yourself, what would you say to these people? You should look at such and such an area. And he hasn't been prepped.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Like, I mean, my ideas are all a bit scattered at the minute, and I kind of come up with ideas and I kill them just as quickly. So I'd probably have a list of 30 or 40, little things that might last a day or 2 days, and they get killed off very quickly. So I probably wouldn't be the best person to talk about, what's hot and what's not at the moment, because I'm just churning through various things at the moment. But I think Ian operates in a space, I think, that's obviously very, very interesting, and I think for any technology type people, I think that there's a lot of that.
Well, I tell you what, we'll go to Ian in a second now, because the final question to you is, physically, literally, how do you sit down and think about those ideas? Do you just sit as you are? Do you meet the friends still for the pints, or do you chat with pals, or what do you do?
Well, everybody has this kind of over a pint. You say, wouldn't it be great if somebody did this or somebody did that? Like, I think, at one point I was thinking, could you do 3D, the 3D glasses that they're selling or they give out in pubs for all the 3D matches? If you're doing that coming up to the World Cup, branded England colours, Ireland colours, this, that and the other, they're all great little ideas that you throw out over a pint. But it's not until you sit down and you get everything else out of the room that you kind of go, well, actually, there's a ton of other companies in that space, you start looking at them properly.
Or did you serve any time at 9 to 5 as a wage slave?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't start my own business till I was 30.
There's hope yet.
Oh, there's a lot of hope. You see, I think, I don't really like the word entrepreneur to begin with, from the point of view that I think entrepreneurial is a kind of a skill set of one of the things that a business owner needs. It's not the only thing. I ran Sage's accountants division. I worked a lot with accountants, for example.
Jeff's idea had been previously to sell still water, and that failed. And my plan was sell sparkling water, which is really what Ireland did, what Nash's did in the 1870s, was sparkling water. We didn't do still water. Sparkling water was the fashion. And in fact, that market continued strongly up to the First World War, when 25% of our sales were still sparkling water. But that First World War killed the water market. People wanted the added value of the sugar and the flavours and that. So we launched Ballygowan, and the still water caused huge problems because we sold still and a sparkling, and people would buy one thinking it was the other. And basically, what you'd hear from people that phone up and say, I bought a bottle of Ballygowan, but there was no minerals in it, meaning there was no sparkle, there was no gas. So fortunately, we were able to react quickly and change the bottles and change the labels quite significantly, so it was obvious what was what. But it captured people's imagination.
I'm a business student here in DIT, and I'm part of an entrepreneurial team who have recently launched a mobile phone app for iPhone and Androids. My question is to Derek, with regards to your URL from MyLunch.ie, do you think that restricted your scope of users, or was the exclusivity of it a bonus to your business?
Well, the URL in itself, I guess, it's like we talked about earlier, you see things as they come up, there's a great saying that more money is lost through indecision than bad decision, and I think you make a decision in the first place, go with something and get going and see where it gets to. It turns out, for us, the MyLunch brand was far more important than any URL. I mean, at the end of the day, you can point people to any URL that you want. It's about for us, it was about the brand. But ultimately for us, we sold to the Irish Times, who own myhome.ie, and of course they loved the idea of having another My brand. So it worked out in that way for us. If it's something that you're genuinely really passionate about, then the idea of flipping it or exiting it probably isn't on your radar at all. But I guess then if it's something that you feel that you've spotted an opportunity, you believe you have the skill sets to develop in this opportunity, and the best model for this business would be to bring it to a certain point, at which point then you want to step out and let somebody else take it the rest of the way. I think if you can be clear on that from the early days, it helps how you set your business up from the start, and it allows you to plan things in a certain way, do things in a certain way, knowing that at all times that you're going to look for an exit to somebody bigger or better.
It's all about experience. I wouldn't be frightened to have a go. I think it's really about finding your niche, and very importantly, how to go find yourself some customers. The route to customers is really, really important.
Give good service, engage with customers. You're going to, I suppose, build up a customer base slowly, but just do it well, and be patient. Times will get better.